Hey, how's it going? Happy Friday. Oh, right. You might not necessarily see this the same day. And they don't put the day in the, I don't even know what to call it. When you look at YouTube and you try to see what day some post is on, it doesn't really give you as much information as it used to. As if just giving it to you vague is enough. Makes it really hard to locate stuff. But anyway, so I have a story. If I can get my stuff together here. I don't want that in the shot. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, I have a story. I was on Blue Sky, and I had liked a photo of a painting, and I was not familiar with the painting. But what it looked like to me was a woman picking up fallen apples from grass, and she was right next to a tree that looks very much like the apple trees that are outside, like right outside. Well, the apples are actually picked up now because it's raining, but yeah, I mean, that's what it looked like. So I was like, oh, I can smell the apples, because you know why? Because looking at a piece of art will often evoke something in you. And so the poster probably knew that the picture wasn't actually showing apples, they were potatoes. But if you didn't just know the painting, there was nothing there to indicate that that's what she was doing. There was no, like, she was not holding a sack that says potatoes on it. And, you know, the ground might be torn up, but it didn't look like it was dug up to me, which is where potatoes come from. So, anyway, like I said, the poster likely knows what the painting is and didn't care that I got it wrong. It just was like, glad that it did what art does, which is get a response from you. In this case, mine was positive. So, like a couple of days later, and I'd completely forgotten about it, I get a notification and it says, oh, I shouldn't have deleted it before the video. Oh well. It basically said, you moron, are you having a stroke? Those are potatoes. And I was like, potatoes? And wait, why are you just calling me names? Like, what the fuck? But, like, just like now, I was just kind of laughing at it. So, I didn't answer them right away, but I don't know, like, I think I said something, not as rude as they were, but then I went back and thought about it. Oh, I said, oh, sorry, it looks just like the apples outside that are in the yard that fell off the tree. Like, that's exactly what it looked like. Excuse me, you know. And then I went away, and someone completely else came back and was all, look it up, it's potatoes. And I was just like, oh, well, is it your comment section I was acting up in? I apologize for that. My bad. Didn't realize it was potatoes. Okay, guess you told me. And then I went away, and I was like, wait a minute. Was it even this person's comment section? So I went and checked, and it wasn't. And so I went, oh, they came. What they had to say was, out of the blue, no one asked you, but it's open. Like, I don't have my site on private, and no one else there in the conversation did either. So, there's this person then all of a sudden, two angry, very angry people, and whatever else they had to say after that, I stopped listening or reading. I was just all, who the fuck, what? So then I was just like, okay, you want to go? So, you know, I was just like, wait a minute, you twat, that's not, well, at first I was like, oh my gosh, you know, like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to act up in your comment section, excuse me. And then I went and checked and saw it wasn't their comment section, it's just this other woman. And then I went back and I was like, you twat, it's not even your comment section. You are not the arbiter of shit out here in the wild. People can say whatever they want. Butt out. Butt the fuck out. And then I left it up long enough to be sure they read them and blocked them because whatever. But I also told the second one, I was like, you know, when I was apologizing, I was like, I wasn't angry. I don't know, I guess people read emojis differently. I know younger people think they mean completely other than what the stated meaning is. So... But I don't think this person was that young. Definitely young, but not that young. But I had a lot of laughter emojis in there because I was laughing. Like in the first one, like she called me names, so then I just like took her... I just followed what she did and responded in kind, and it was just all name, like curse name, curse name. Like, you're just gonna get on here and act stupid and call people names? Well, let me get in on that. So, I mean, I was laughing. In fact, I was laughing so hard that I couldn't type it. All I could do was hit an emoji. So then the next person comes along. I already talked about what was said there, but like, who do people think they are? Like, I have been on these sites for years, and I generally don't even ever come off that way. Like, even if somebody pisses me off, I'm not calling them names. Like, I really have to be provoked to do something like what they did. Today I was provoked, but I guess I'm in a good mood. But the other thing is like, I've been wrong a lot. Like, being wrong about what a painting is depicting is pretty low on the list of, oh my god, I have to go kill myself now. Like, no. But what I was sort of surprised and, you know, provoked by was the way they both came at me, like, just talking shit. Like, the first thing you gotta say is shit talk? No. Like, I avoid that type of thing. In fact, I find that, you know, people respond to you a lot better if you're just nice, and I generally am encouraging of what other people are posting, like, even to the degree of, you know, and this is small, but it means something to the person. If I like something, I'll hit like, and then I'll even move my finger over here and repost it, and it doesn't hurt me. It makes me feel better to have made that person possibly feel better for a moment. And so that's kind of like my rule of thumb when interneting. But on the other hand, I also have had a lifetime of being shushed or just talked down and overpowered. And recently I have been watching this channel called Order of... Dang it, I can't remember. I've talked about it before. Order of Knowledge, I think. And it's been talking a lot about the divine feminine and the archetypes of, like, Lilith and Sophia and Isis and, like, all of the ones that are basically sort of models of each other throughout the centuries, and the history, the storytelling, you know, like, I think we tend to think a lot of that stuff is myth and not really real, or it's like a metaphor, but, well, I think they got the metaphor part right, but I think a lot of it is actually real, and we just haven't acquired a full understanding of what we're seeing, because, you know, stuff in Egypt has been found since, like, the mid-1900s, like, last century, and we're just figuring out a lot of things that, oh my god, this thing over here, completely unrelated, like, could work with something in the pyramid. Like, somewhere along the line, connections are being made by people about these things, and then they turn out to be something. And even even when we get in there and get right up close, all on top of whatever it is we're discovering, there's still more to find out because we just are not understanding it fully. The joy of life. So, anyway, part of what those female archetypes are women who have lived before us in different times, but who have been, for whatever reason, suppressed. It's not just random. Like it's not just for whatever reason. It was because they were feared, because they had some sort of power that the men in charge felt could overpower them if they didn't suppress it. So, and that would be like her ideas or her influence, whoever the she at the time was, like Mary, or either Mary of the biblical Marys. So Jesus' mother and Mary Magdalene is who I'm talking about, because I think there's many more Marys in the Bible, probably. Marys, Miriams. Don't want to get sidetracked. So that has been on my mind, but it's interesting that Order of Knowledge, I think it is. Order of Knowledge. It's Ook, I believe. The YouTube channel that talks about these archetypes and like the hidden Gospels of Mary and like the truth of who Mary was. Like she was a disciple. She wasn't like the table maid, or I don't know, or the prostitute that, like, that's what she was branded with. But we've seen that in our lifetimes, where some woman gets a bunch of bad press, and it probably none of it is even true, or maybe there's a tiny kernel of truth to it, and it's something that's being used against them. Like I said, we've seen it. Like, okay, Janet Jackson in the Super Bowl, like, there's all these conspiracy theories about how it was planned. Like, well, yeah, it was planned. It was choreography. I just think her outfit broke. I don't think that was deliberate. And I think that everybody was looking at something from the outside, and I mean, people could be right. It could have been part of a ritual. It could have been like something done on purpose for some sort of value beyond shock. And I have to say, I really have looked at those halftime shows at the football game or the Super Bowl, which, not a football fan, so if I watch it at all, which is not very often, it's the halftime that I'll be looking at, unless I'm at somebody's house and it's on. And believe me, I'm not sitting in there listening to it and watching it, like... Anyway, it's not bad. It's just not, I'm just not into it. Football. So, I've looked at those halftime shows and gone, what the hell am I looking at? That looks like some kind of weird ceremony. So, beware of that, because that probably is what you're looking at. And if you're just all passive, it's doing stuff to you that... Don't just sit there looking at something all X's for eyes. Like, look at it. Oh, there I am telling people what to do. Okay, don't mean to be doing that. I'm just saying. That's my take on those matters. So anyway, I did pull some cards. Oh, right. So before I started doing this, unfortunately, I did it on this phone and not the other one, so that I could read it to you, but I was having some feelings, a little bit of doubt about the way that I kind of responded to those people online, because that really is not who I am, like, anymore. Like, when I was younger, I was a lot more blunt and aggressive, I guess you could say, or like... I wasn't like a person that fought. I wasn't even an argumentative person, but... Or maybe I was argumentative. Let me take that back. It's hard to, like, really even looking back, it's hard to know exactly what the hell was going on with me, but I don't think that I was a person that started fights. Like, I was and am a friendly, upbeat person, but I do have a temper, that, boy, I was not in control of it really at all back then. I'm much better today, but I'm just saying, it's not like I don't know how to act like an idiot too. I have just chosen not to indulge myself in that because it's not great, like these people just wanted to argue with me and like outword me, and I'm like, oh my, you people have picked the wrong person to do that with. But that's not what I normally do. I avoid conflict. I do not want to be involved in conflict, and I'll tell you why. Because of that temper. Because if I unleash it, it just won't be good. Like, I'm gonna hurt somebody. And then, like today, I was kind of having fun, like, sparring with these people. But the problem with that is, with anything, there must be moderation, and that is too fun, and it could get, like, be out of control. And like I said, it could hurt someone's feelings, but, I don't want to be that person. I don't even want to be doing that. Like, I don't need to. I don't need to be superior than anybody else on that, like, playing field. So, I stopped. I stopped indulging in it. And then just in general in my life, that is not me. So, I feel a little ashamed that I was acting out on the social media platform. But, well, things happen. So, I guess you could say, trying to placate myself still at that point. And I pulled a card that I get, one card a day from this site. I don't even know how I found them, but they're in my email. And so I chose a card, and the card was the stag. And I laughed because it was all, let your wild side out. It's okay to let unleash that on the world, like let it loose from inside of yourself, basically. And I just cracked up because I'm all worried, and it's all, and also simultaneously in my head, things are resettling in there, and maybe my guy just talking to me and going, hey, it's okay, like once in a while you can do that. You didn't. I mean, I certainly called them every name in the book, but I was fully joking. Like I said, I was just mirroring what that person, I was mirroring back what that person had sent my way, but I probably could have stopped after like the third time I said it. Again, I had to stop because all things in moderation. But like I said, I didn't do it on this phone. I mean, I did it on this phone, which has the camera that I'm using on it, so can't read it to you. And then I opened the mail on my other phone, and I knew I wouldn't be able to get the same card because it's that way. It's a phone thing. I don't know how to categorize it. I'm not. You have got to be kidding me. I may have lost this one too. Let me see here. How can I get rid of you? An ad. Oh, okay. So it's still here. So I went back to the same site and got a different card. So, and this is what it said. This is interesting. I thought. What the shit? Oh, okay, so it started doing this new thing. It's all tip of the day. So I forget what the other one was, but this one says solar panels is the tip of the day. My glasses are dirty, of course. You'll pardon me for a moment while I try to scrub away my greasy fingerprints. I try not to touch the lenses. I didn't get that smear off at all. Good job. Oh, dang it. Hold on. Don't hit stop. Okay, got it. So, what was I freaking blabbing about? I forgot to remember what I was saying. Oh yes, I was going to read this other card. So the stag card is what I had pulled before. I don't know if I said that, but, why are you back? It said something about patience and wisdom and being protective of the family, and I wish I had remembered to open the correct phone, but anyway, knowing I wouldn't get the same card, I opened the mail on my other phone, and so this one starts out with the tip of the day, and it's solar panels. Just as the eclipse moon card, which is the one I pulled, signifies a time of significant change and transformation, solar panels represent a transformative shift toward renewable energy. Harness the power of the sun, much like the eclipse harnesses the power of both the sun and the moon, to generate clean green energy for your home. Solar panels are a sustainable solution that can significantly reduce your electricity bills and carbon footprint. Invest in solar, what is this, an ad? Invest in solar panels today and join the green energy revolution. With various options available from rooftop installations to ground-mounted systems, there's a solar solution for every home. Don't let the opportunity to save money and protect the environment eclipse you. Explore the benefits of solar panels now. Okay, that was weird. I don't know about that. That's the first one of those I've seen. Well, I saw it the first time in the other card that I blew, but the eclipse. God darn it, did I touch them? I think I touched my glasses. Shoot. The eclipse is an enchanting and somewhat mysterious card that conveys powerful transformative energy. Drawing the eclipse implies undergoing a time of profound change, indicating a major shift in your perception or a sudden upheaval in your life. This dramatic shift can seem quite dark and overwhelming, just as an eclipse obscures the light. However, understand that this darkness doesn't signify an end, but rather a transition into something new. It signals a period of introspection and personal growth, the end of one cycle and the beginning of another. Well, I know I just had cycle end, that's for sure. And definitely have had some transformative moments lately. Like, I had something that was weighing on me, and I had the power to fix it, but I didn't feel like it was mine to fix, and I didn't want to fix it. But since the party responsible just isn't going to, and I'm the one left in the lurch, I'm the one that has to, fix the problem. So I started doing it, but then once I did it, all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, I should have done that years ago or whatever. However, it hasn't been that long, but that's how long it's felt, dragging that particular little problem around. So I can relate to what this is saying. I'll move on here. The mysterious quality about the eclipse is that it often leads to unexpected revelations, having the power to illuminate hidden aspects of yourself. I am surprised at how much I was enjoying bitch slapping them bitches today. Letting out my dragon. Oh, that's also something I wanted to say about the female archetypes. They are, if you read what the site has to say about dragons and these women, both actual living people and archetypal women, they have a lot of connections with dragons. And so just like a lot of women, or the Marys, or Mary Magdalene particularly, Actually, the other Mary too. Like, it wasn't like she could run around in a mini skirt and a tube top or something. She lived in kind of repressed times, but for them, it was just normal. So, oh my God, yeah, right now, it's so normal. I'm sorry, it's so terrible, but for the moment, in the terrible places, it's terrible. It's not terrible everywhere. Anyway, those women's message and true stories were suppressed or twisted, altered. And this is also true of dragons, which I guess at some point in the future, I don't know how near that's going to be, dragons are going to return to this realm. Like, they exist, they just don't stay here. And it's probably a vibration thing. Like, we've given them such a bad rap and made them evil and predatory and terrible, and evidently that's not what they're about at all. And the current shift in Earth consciousness and energy is going to keep moving in that direction, thank goodness. And eventually mythical creatures that we think are either mythological or extinct will return to this realm. This is what I've learned. Actually, from a number of different places that must be channeling. They must be channeling information. So, okay, let me get back to the card. The mysterious quality about the eclipse is... Ooh, what a whistle. About the eclipse is that it often leads to unexpected revelations, having the power to illuminate hidden aspects of yourself, like your hidden inner dragon. I forgot. The angry woman, that's my theme. And it's not angry, like, gonna come up and hit you. Although, like any woman, pushed to a degree, that might happen. They might feel the need to hit you with a skillet or slap you or something. I don't condone or suggest that. I'm just saying it happened. It's been known to happen. But the dragon, and it also could be like related to Kundalini, which also can lie coiled up in you. The dragons have just sort of been hibernating or other places, and so as a metaphor, the dragon inside of we women is waking up because it's time for us to gain a position of superiority, or at least majority, because of we got to catch up from all we've been held back from, and really like heal and repair and explain and nurture and all these things that the world needs. Because look at us, like we have convinced ourselves that kindness and compassion, I don't like the word kindness, but just for expediency's sake, that is what you expect. That's what I would like to experience in the world. Like, I don't want to just be all, I enjoy this beautiful painting. It makes me feel this way that is good and reminds me of this. I don't want to have someone come in and be all, you're stupid, let me shit on what you just said. Why? Why did you have to do that? Why? So anyway, am I done with the card? No. This can result in a deeper self-understanding and an awareness of your hidden strengths or truths. So if you leave the parts of you inside that are a bit fiery and really combative, right? You don't want something like that to just be in there festering. You do have to, like, air it out, let it vent, Otherwise, you're, like, out of balance. You're unbalanced. So, therefore, this card is often linked to personal growth, self-discovery, and transformation. It's the eclipse card, remember. On the eclipse card, the pink water lily symbolizes awakening and rebirth, as well as the continuous cycle of life and death. The water lily emerging from the depths of the lake to the surface signifies spiritual awakening and enlightenment. It's an indication that although you may feel overwhelmed by the changes going on around you, you are actually in the process of blooming into a better, stronger version of yourself. Additionally, the glowing eclipse and the ensuing darkness offer a majestic metaphor for your life. There are periods when everything seems to be eclipsed in darkness, but this is merely a transitional phase. As the small balls of light emanating from the water lily rise up toward the eclipse, they symbolize hope and the reassurance that the transformation you are experiencing will result in greater clarity and possibility. Good Lord, man. You can break a sentence up. Oh, man. Okay, there's more. When the darkness lifts, you'll be able to view your world with a fresh perspective. Thus, the eclipse card can be seen as an opportunity for growth, an invitation to embrace and explore the depths of your psyche, uncover your true potential, and shine your light. Transformation through the eclipse. The eclipse might be indicating to you that it's time to let go of old, outdated views or beliefs and make way for new visions. The breaking down of old structures can often be chaotic and disorienting, but it opens up necessary space for regeneration. Are you craving rebirth or a new beginning? How can you make the most of this transformative period? What old habits and beliefs are obscuring your light? As you delve into these questions, you may uncover untapped strengths within yourself that you were previously unaware of. You might even discover new parts of yourself, igniting a process of self-discovery and enlightenment. Embrace the journey, even if it feels uncomfortable or unsettling at times. Transformation and evolution are not always easy processes, but they're necessary for growth. What the eclipse means for you today. The eclipse card has surfaced today, signifying that you may be in the middle of or on the verge of a significant transformation. It's a sign that some parts of your life may be plunged into darkness for a time. The 3 or 14 days of darkness. Not to frighten you, but to help you concentrate on what's truly important. That is what the days of darkness are about. Change is coming and it will be profound, but the overarching message is one of hope and salvation. Yay! The eclipse wants you to know that even when all seems dark, there's a promise of light and renewal. Embrace these changes, for they're part of your spiritual growth and personal evolution. Remember, it's always darkest before the dawn. So, this is how cards work, though, the tarot and oracle cards. Did I say tarot? Tarot and oracle cards is, they give you little messages about stuff. So here is the eclipse card. Can you see that? Because my phone is doing something weird. It's like I can see the card, but I can also see myself through the card. That is weird. If I turn it this way, what happens? Anyway, can you see the flower that they were talking about? Uh-oh. Now it went all wonky. Why'd you have to do that? There we go. There's the flower. Lotus flower, water lily. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. It feels significant and kind of on the nose. Now, here are the cards I pulled. The cords are pulled. I don't know why I'm getting a chill up one arm. And no, I'm not having a stroke. Somebody already accused me, that rude person today, already accused me if I was having a stroke, because I said I could smell the apples. There's a certain smell of apples on the grass in the sun. Again, it was evoked by the picture, the painting. Bitch. When you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. Well, you know, I went sort of in, like I was having a good time today. But, you know, maybe my example is not the way you want to go. It's up to you, though, but go all in and enjoy the ride. I think you might... There's an eclipse. Oh, my God. I pulled these yesterday, and I pulled that one like an hour ago. So, fucking eclipse. Come on, come back. What was I gonna say? Oh, when you find something that excites you, you're not necessarily always going to find the thing that excites you. Sometimes it's going to be a lemon. The experience will be a lemon on some occasions. But will you make lemonade or not? That is the question. So that's the question you're left to answer. The next card is, stop looking outside yourself for answers. For the answers, you already know them. So, this is another interesting answer to kind of what I was talking about, because I felt a little unsure when I sort of unleashed the dragon, you might say, and allowed myself to kind of flame those people and also enjoy it. Like, I enjoyed it like a little bit too much, and I felt like... Also, you know, not that I've really exercised it in a long time, I remember what it's like when my if I let my temper go, it's like fire. It's crazy. It gets to the point where you just, when I say you, I mean me, where you just want to indulge in that fire and let everything burn because of the centuries worth of angry women inside of you, going back centuries, is wanting to put its foot down, take a stand, be heard, does not want to be pushed aside and diminished or diminutized anymore. I mean, yeah, so like that I kind of really want to keep a grip on because it's like I'm a little dyke with a big old water pressure sitting on my back. D-I-K-E, not the other kind. That's not what we're talking about, so just come back over this way. So this card says, stop looking outside of yourself for the answers. You already know them. Okay, so, like I said, I was feeling sort of unsure for, like, having behavior. Why am I even calling it behavior like I was a bad girl? My lord, I'm allowed to respond to people in the way that I see fit. Listen, I prayed this morning and asked for guidance. I don't think... And actually, let me finish what I was saying. So, in between, like, that happening and the time that I took... sort of doing stuff and thinking about it, and then actually going to sit and meditating on what had happened and my feelings on it, because I really want to get myself in order on that, you know, like, I don't feel bad for, well, actually, I mean, I don't feel, like, bad for reacting the way I did. It was like a guilty pleasure, and I just feel like a little naughty, and I shouldn't even have to feel that way. I should be able to just feel like that was fun. I enjoyed it. Wasn't expecting it. Kind of came out of the blue, but thanks for sparring with me. Like, it really was kind of fun, but I think other people were not having as much fun as I was. Like, the first person was just angry, like, right out of the gate. And I was like, why? Why? Because I got it wrong? Like, is it gonna, like, change something momentous? I don't think so. Just because I got... Sorry, it was wrong. Okay, like, well, I don't know what you need, crazy. So, I think that, when we, okay, right. So, I was just trying to order myself again because that was unusual for me to, like, allow myself to engage in that particular way. I really stay away from that kind of thing. And it's not even like it's hard. It's kind of weird that people more and more, I'm noticing, like, it came directly to me today, but I did notice last week on Substack, and I know I talked about it in one of my previous videos, where somebody had posted on there, and the first thing you could read said, "Stabby nigger alert," and I was like, oh man, that was like out of left field for me, and that is not, I know it's out there, I mean, I'm not naive, but it typically just doesn't make its way into my feed, that type of thing. And then I saw another one that was even more, he was even worse, both guys, of course. And so, it's just surprising that usually, for some reason, that stuff I've been able to deflect it without even trying, and now it's coming. That must mean that, like, I'm ready to be able to spar. Like, that must be what's necessary at the moment, or not that I need to be doing it, but that I need to be ready for it when it comes my way. Because clearly, it's coming my way. I don't know what's going on with people, especially younger people, but man, they're nasty and angry. And don't be calling me a boomer. I was born in 63, but I was born in 63. What the hell could I do? I was a damn baby. I grew up Gen X. And I've always been a conservationist, prepper person at heart, so don't, just back off. You don't know who you're talking to. And I'm not even saying that, like, you don't know who you're talking to, but I'm saying, you don't know me. I might have the same sort of leanings as yourself. So just ease up with all that gen crap. And by the way, it's kind of stupid, which you will see eventually, if you're a person that's really hanging on your generation like it's something, because you're going to age, and if suddenly you find yourself in the next generation that you weren't even thinking about, which is old, you're just going to be old like everybody else, and your gen ain't going to matter. Your achy knees and your back and your weak bladder. Although, if you're that young, you might not even have to experience that, because quite good medical care is on the way. Not like immediately, unfortunately, but in your young ass lifetime. What? Why do you have the ears? Do you need flea medicine? I can put some flea medicine on you right now. Do you want some flea medicine? All right then. Anyway, got all caught up in the gens. Oh, right. So, like I said, I was trying to, like, reorder myself because I knew I was going to do this, and I like to do at least a little bit of meditation beforehand. And I wanted it to be actual meditation, not just, hashing that out over and over in my mind. And I did have a feeling, like, and to me, this is how I'm getting the messages. Like, suddenly I'll get a feeling, or sometimes words. I can't tell you. There's no way I can predict how it's gonna like make itself known to me, a message. So, but what I got was the feeling that you're fine. Like, you're allowed to, like, break free from your norm once in a while. And really, I mean, I really didn't do anybody any harm, and if somebody felt harmed, I apologize for that, but at the same time, you can take offense or not. Like, you don't have to take it. So I'm just going to leave that there. But this card on the bottom here says, you already know them. It's like the answers that you're looking outside. Like, don't stop looking outside yourself for the answers. You already know them. I think that was kind of in that little tiny message there saying, don't worry about it. Like, you're allowed to act out even, like, once in a while. Like, my God, you don't have to be that rigid. And that, as it was happening, I was thinking, yeah, I know that's true. So, yeah, that's what I think that was. And now I'm just going to choke a little bit. Hold on. Okay, so this one, give you a look at it. Cosmic Man. Your life is so special. Whoa! Treat it with loving care. I'm getting like my ear's vibrating so much I want to stick my finger in there and itch it. But just on the one side. Okay. Hold on. Sorry, I was just waiting to see if that was going to tell me anything right now, but I guess it's not going to do it right now. So anyway, you know, these cards always remind me of, I don't know if you'll know this show, but it's an American show that aired on NBC, and it was called Third Rock from the Sun. And they had these graphic bumps in the title footage, and then like in between shows, not shows, in between like scenes in the show, and you know, in and out of commercial breaks, and it was the solar system, and it would bounce, the planets would bounce around and move all over, and like the rings of Jupiter would do things, and it was, I always liked it. It was very clever, very attractive graphic. And that's what these cards always remind me of, because the planets would move in and out of where they were supposed to be and all over the place. And generally, I have learned from professional space people that that ain't how space looks. Nothing is close together. There's a lot of distance between objects, apparently. Even the free-floating ones are generally not really in the vicinity of anything else, because it's space, I guess. So this one says, your life is so special, treat it with loving care. I hope you're on the linoleum. My cat is barfing, it sounds like. So treat your life with loving care. You have to do it. You're really the only one. Hold on, I have to see what's happening. Okay. Hairball. Just a hairball. Now I gotta get situated again. Alright. So, treating the body with loving care. You may have heard a saying that goes something like, your body is a temple. Your body is your temple. That is a biblical quote, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure it is. And it is one that I've been thinking about a lot lately, because I have put on weight, and I'm not, like, thrilled about it, but I knew that when I was comforting myself with the junk food that I was going to pay a price, and that's what the price is. And so, what you may not know about getting older, particularly if you're in your lifetime, you were physical, like maybe you did sports or just were active in some way, and like there are treatments you can do, and you might end up needing like actual surgery for some things, but if you were not observant of your body being that temple early on and thought to maintain it that way, like really respect what kind of food, respected by feeding it well and, you know, all of the things that you would do for a baby, basically. Keep pollutants away and, you know, danger. All of the stuff to keep the baby happy and healthy. And so, we lose sight of that, and I think I can speak pretty broadly on this, and I know people that are like health people and fitness people, and I know that they actually go through a lot of pain and suffering to maintain that, and I don't know, I've had my fill of pain and suffering things. I don't want to like do it to myself, so but the thing is like, your body is not going to sit there and wait for you to be in the mood to do the right thing to maintain it. In my case, I just do the best I can, and like I said, I'm paying a price right now for indulging myself, but that's okay. It's happened before, and I have lost the weight again, so and it is definitely, at this time in my life, something that I feel like I have a lot more control over, as far as, like, I know exactly what I need to do to remedy the situation if I want to rush it and feel uncomfortable and trapped and confined. Like, I don't really like the whole diet dynamic, you know. I do it my way, so it might take longer or whatever, but I'm not going to get tired of doing it and then, like, boom, I gain a bunch of weight back because I stopped the restrictive dieting. I learned that much, so it's really all about my state of mind and getting back to one where I'm in alignment with my body's health improving and me staying motivated to do it. So, and that's more, for me, I don't want to use the word binding, but it's coming to mind, so it's just a more binding practice for me. Like, I'm more likely to keep doing it. So, and also exercise. I have not really felt up to riding my bike, and so since I had COVID, I guess it was a month ago now, 2 months ago maybe, I'm still really tired, like, by next to nothing activity wise. In my case, I'm certain was not that bad at all, because the first 7 days I had it, I didn't even know it was COVID. I thought I just had a bad cold. So, but it does things beyond what a cold does. And I know there are a lot of people freaked out by it and freaked out by the vaccine treatments for it, but I think they're not. I think they're discounting the fact that we are physically evolving, and so the introduction of these things, they may have to be looked at through a different lens than previously, because the conditions didn't exist previously, and a lot of the people opining on the matter are not qualified to. I mean, you can read a qualified person's view, but then it turns into a telephone game with yourself, and then you start telling other people, and then the message or the information gets more distorted and mutated, and Yeah, just my opinion, but I'll leave that kind of thing to the smart people, and just I'll have my interpretation and follow my own sort of instructions and understanding of it. But it is not at all my place to go out and start making a big fat deal so that people do something differently. Like, I really feel like what people are mistaking for harm in the treatment of COVID is being mistaken because of ignorance for one, and paranoia for another, and also people not listening to the actual authorities on these matters. Nothing is completely known about COVID and the effects of the body right now, and I don't know how aware science is of the deep evolution happening physically to people that I know my metaphysical weirdo space people videos are talking about, but I also know they're right. The reason why we don't know about it is because maybe we have not caught up to the science to detect it yet. But all of this is going to come into play. It's going to come into view, and people will know. And people that are willing to accept it will, and, good. And the people that can't and don't want to, then how is that really different from right now? So here's my final thought on that, as the body is a temple thing and everybody else's opinion on it. Like everything else, pay attention to your thing, your own body, your own temple, and what you're doing to it and putting in it, and so on and so forth. But out of everybody else's, unless you're their doctor, dang it. Like, I'm so sick of people thinking that they can just horn in and start telling people how to live their life, and it's like, well, how do you have time to be over here bugging me? Isn't your life going to hell in the meantime? Get out of here. Sorry. Not really. Okay, so here is the next card. I don't know, is this like Dawn in space or something? Some sort of breakthrough happening. The Enlightenment. Sorry, I'm naming posters, paintings. This card reads, no one said this whole life thing was a race. It's okay to slow down. Good point. I know that we get to feeling like, or at least I do, I get to feeling anxious, I get to feeling like I want to jump out of my skin, and I don't even always know what's causing it. Like, hold on. I don't have the anticipation of some big stressful exam or something or inspection coming. That's just not happening with me personally. But then this is not just for me, what I'm doing right here. So I know that, like, especially with this Galactic Federation stuff, like, I'm like all in on what they're talking about. I have no question as to what they're saying. However, what they want from us that we have to get to, if we care about it, if it's what we want to do, and contribute to this awakening, which is just not individual, but everyone is happening to some degree, or it's just happening to, but they're conscious of it to some degree or not. It just really depends on the person, but it's like, my life had once I couldn't be a musician anymore, I kind of just didn't have direction, and this gives me a direction, something to feel like I'm making a contribution, to the betterment of all, which I didn't even know I cared about until recently. I just, within, the past 10 years or so, more actually, a little bit before that, I remember waking up one day And like the words were in my mouth, and I woke up saying, I want to be on a team. I want to be part of a team. But can you imagine waking up all, I want to be part of a team. What? Wait, what? Well, that's pretty much how it went. But then, like, all day, that phrase was just in my mind. And then it was like, it evolved into, and it wasn't me. I'm just like going, wow, like, this is here, in here, just sitting there, all talking to me, and living in my head. What the hell? And then it turned into, God, I hate it when I lose track. Oh, it turned into, I don't want to be I want to be part of a team. Like it turned, like the first part had fallen off. I don't want to be I want to be part of a team. I don't know where it came from, but it actually is true. Like, I've been in bands, and a couple of times I have attempted to start a solo band, but what I discovered is I didn't have the patience to look long enough to find the people that wanted to be in a solo band with me. It was fine to be in a band with me with other people, but not with me leading it, I guess, so fine. But that's something that has not been my life for a really long time. So it was a little bit out of context, because that was the only sort of team situation I could picture myself in, was being in a band. I'm still having a hard time trying to figure out what the heck I'm supposed to be a part of, but I know that this big thing, the awakening and the enlightenment and the event and all that, can't be done by one person alone. It's not a one-man job. It's an all-hands-on-deck job. And I want to be a part of it, especially since there have been so many roads that so many ways I thought my life was going to go, and then I I start traveling down these paths, and then something turns me back, or like, it's like, whoa, road ends here, psych. But it's like so many starts that don't go anywhere, and this feels like eternal. This is something that is not going to fizzle away, and I don't see how I'm going to lose interest. And it's interesting because for a lot of people, this stuff is right alongside religion, but I defy them to tell me what's religion about it. Because even if you listen to what they're saying, they talk about biblical figures and the Bible and biblical times, but they are also sort of deconstructing the symbolism in a lot of ways and explaining so much and making so much of the nonsensical, absurd-sounding stuff make sense when it's put into a perspective that you can see, and it is allowing you to see what the perspective actually means, and not like whatever strange thing you're making out of it, which is incorrect. But, seeing something incorrectly is a journey all of its own, because eventually you're going to find out the right way to go and the right way it's supposed to look. Okay, so, the Galactic Federation stuff was giving me a sense of urgency on a lot of levels. Like, am I gonna fall into this category? Because the right category for me is the one that's gonna elevate and evolve and rise up. And I don't want to be one of the people that's gonna be stuck in another 2,600 year cycle of violence and ugliness and all kinds of stuff that we seem to be having like a pretty big rash of it, like breakouts all over the planet of hostility and anger and greed and genocide in Gaza, frankly, and then the wars in everywhere else are not good. I don't know the context of them all, but if I had my druthers, none of them would be happening, because I don't want people out there shooting each other up and killing each other. Like, I'm against it. I'm not a fan. So, and then I saw also in the comments section, other people were like, man, you guys are like stressing me out. But I guess we are on a clock of sorts. But here's the thing, you can slow down, and you can even like stop for a little while, because if you remove yourself, you will maybe slow down or bring to a halt whatever is supposed to be happening with you. But that doesn't mean the whole rest of the continuum isn't going to continue to turn. Like, you're not going to stop things from happening. It's just better if you can be a part of it. And when I say you, I mean you, me, anyone that's involved, anyone that's decided to take part. Because it is stressful, and it does take a lot out of you. And part of the job is being part of an elite special force, in a way, a smaller subsection of human Earth people that are managing the stresses of everyone else that is not consciously going through it, and transmuting energies that people are putting off, like dark energies. Like, look at what I was doing today. Like, the one of them thought I was mad, and I was like, how could you think any of that was anger? Like, I was presenting it as people should have been laughing, you know, like wherever you fell on the potatoes or apples stand. It doesn't matter. Like, you could have still been watching like a good volley match of ridiculous. I mean, I was certainly going for the absurd, like, for sure. And the one that didn't get that, they are part of a breed of people. They're not alone in not having a sense of humor, not being able to even recognize that there's humor happening. You live and learn. So, the last card that I have is this one. Aww. Okay, I don't know. I believe from the snout that this is a big cat. And again, the planets are super close. Like, is the kitty a really, really, really big cat? A monolithic cat? A planet-sized cat? Because they're right up next to... It looks like a few planets, and all those planets are too close together. Like, he's on a cosmic pool table sitting in the middle of the pool balls. Like, that's crazy. They have gravities and poles and all kinds of other astronomical stuff that I'm not educated in, but I know there's stuff out there happening, forces at work where they are not all on top of each other, probably for reasons. Like, planetary mechanics are probably telling the planets the locations to be in, so they're not just bashing into each other. What would that do if that was really happening? Can you imagine, like, 3 planets just all whammo smacking into each other? Like, I don't even know how to describe what kind of reverberations that would create. I don't think it's a good idea. Let's not do that. Okay. Thank you and good night.